Hello, everyone. Welcome to January 16 Zeam call. So we will discuss the updates of the team as well as our progress for DevNet 2 and our preparation for DevNet 3 and any other things that team might need want to discuss regarding Zeam or Lean. Uh, Maybe a little bit about the current planning that is going on. So for updates, let's start from Anchal.
Yeah, so during the week, I was mostly working on integrating Lean VM into our systems and aggregate the signatures for DevNet 2. I would say I am almost done, but I'll take some more time before I can finalize the PR. Hopefully, I'll create a PR today, um, and then we can move forward with it. Apart from that, like during the week, I also like created a minor PR on multi-sig side to convert the aggregated signatures into uh, SSD serialization. And apart from that, there was one more cleanup PR because earlier the one that Chaitanya had created to aggregate the signatures had phony signatures in it, which is no longer required. uh, Once I'm like done with the work on Zeam, I plan to raise another PR on Lean spec side as well. I have worked a little bit on it, haven't completed it, but right now in Lean specs, how I had implemented it was mostly dummy aggregation. I need to update the bindings with latest updates on Lean multisig side, and then I can have like proper aggregation on spec side as well. So yeah, that is another thing that I need to do. But that's about it from my.
So on the lean spec, so basically, uh, then you already have the test config enabled not there as well now.
Yeah.
Got it. And is it through the Rust bindings or is it the Python? The full thing is in Python spec.
So it will be two Rust bindings because they have enabled test config on Lean multisig. So they have like a feature flag for that. I'll have to update my Python bindings that I am using on Lean spec so that it has this feature. Right now, how I had implemented it, that I had introduced a new flag within the aggregation function itself, which was test mode. And in case of that, I was just returning a single 0 byte, which was simply a dummy aggregation. Now that we have like the actual aggregation for test mode as well, I can have it integrated. I had to do this because for the prod config, like these signatures weren't like efficient enough to be aggregated, and it would take like forever for them to get aggregated. So that is something that needs to be done. But right now, like I'm focusing on Zeam side of things.
So is there still some difference between lean sig and lean multisig, or it's just the same repo now?
No, it's like a different repo, but it is able to the difference is like Lean multisig already integrate Lean 6 signatures on the DevNet 2 branch. It doesn't have that on main branch. So the encoding scheme of the signatures are different on the main branch. So I'm not sure like what is like stopping them from merging it into main, but there are like still differences there.
Got it.
Mm.
So lean multisig has two branches, DevNet 2 and MEM.
Yeah, like those are of a concern. I don't know if they have like more branches, but right now the work that I am doing is on the DevNet 2 branch.
And lean sig repo is no more in the picture.
It is there in the picture, so I import that for like we are still using the bindings for lean sig, but it is like compatible.
So difference between lean multisig is that lean multisig is lean VM.
Yep. And it
Yeah.
basically it also imports like leansig to eventually like have those references within the repo, but it is specific to the aggregation stuff.
Got it. Got it. Understood.
Also,
They should just rename it to lean sig aggregation or something. I mean,
yeah.
lean sig and lean multisig are not too differentiating, and I always get confused. But with regard to your PR, where are we on that?
Uh, so I'll try to raise it today itself. Hopefully by tonight. I couldn't spend much time on it yesterday, but and I also spent quite a lot of time cleaning some of the stuff in regards to like the way we had implemented bindings for lean sig, and they're like it wasn't very explicit in the sense that we were directly converting uh, key pair into public key at some places without actually referencing the public key within itself. So we were making use of the uh, layout that was present there and trying to cast it into key pair into public key. I have made it more explicit because so that during verification we don't have to pass key pairs, because that doesn't seem right that we have like both public and private key for verification API as well. um, I don't know how I missed it earlier, and it eventually like Guillaume had reviewed it and he rebased that branch and merged it. He also missed it, but it seemed wrong to me, so I have done some cleanup on that side as well. But I'll try to erase it today itself. I'm working as we speak.
Got it. So if you raise it today and we merge it over the weekend, so can we be DevNet 2 spec compatible on Monday?
Hopefully before that. But I think like we'll be the first team to do that because other teams were implementing it, but I don't know how they implemented the serialization and stuff because it wasn't present on the lean multisig repo. So either they did the serialization on their client itself, or they didn't do it.
So it is nice to be first, but between today and Monday there are 2 days, so we don't know who the first is gonna be, right? So all right, I mean, anyway, let's try to get it merged over the weekend and try to basically at least do Zeam interop on Monday if other teams are not ready, and if other teams are ready, then yeah, with them as well. Okay, so just continuing on DevNet 2, Kai, did we go for the compression, the state justification compression PR for DevNet 2, or it was for the DevNet?
Uh, yes, uh, so the link spike PR for the compression is already merged. Uh, and for Zeam side, I already posted the PR, but I found one issue, so I I sent I sent you a message in the Telegram. So can you confirm that?
Yeah, so I mean, for your, okay, I've seen your issue that you're saying finalization will relies on root to slot builder from struggle update routes.
Yes, seems there are some
Why are we even without zero hash, right? So we can, so whenever there is zero hash, we can just skip it, right? We
uh
zero hash to slot mapping that you are concerned about, right?
yes, But right now, I think for proving we may not have correct slots because the duplicate root. So maybe uh, the last one will override the previous one.
So why are you even serializing for zero hash? So for when you're doing justifications conversion, right? You are this is in the packing itself that you are getting this problem. So if there is zero hash, don't pack it in justifications, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And similarly, if you are reading the justifications and if there is zero hash, basically don't look in the justification maps to load it into the root to justification map, right?
Uh, mm, okay,
So basically, if with these two checks, your issue should be resolved.
okay, okay. So
I was
so
also thinking that maybe we actually don't even need justification roots. We and if we can store the justifications bit vector directly mapped to the slots, because right now we are basically trying to save the map by first writing the roots and then serializing the justifications for it. But only thing that is a concern about that is okay, there could be some missing slots in between which we might just serialize extra bits for. So I will think about that. But for the current work, right? Just do zero hash checks when you are loading the justifications as well as
okay,
when. So while loading the justifications, it would not be an issue because there should not be a zero hash root in the justifications root, and so there would not be any problem while loading, right? And then while serializing back to justifications root as well as to the vector to the justifications bit vector, there should not be any zero hash. Just if you take care of this, it should work out.
okay, okay.
All right. So when will I see the spec modification on this?
Uh, maybe today or tomorrow.
And when do we have your Zeam PR on this?
Yes,
Today or tomorrow itself?
yes,
All right. So can we also have this PR over the weekend so that we can merge it by Monday, and that way we would be DevNet 2 ready by Monday, right?
yes.
Is there anything else in DevNet 2, Anshul and Kai, and anyone else who knows if there is anything else?
Uh, I think for me only the spike test, so maybe not urgent.
Yeah, spec test we can deal next week. Anshul, is there anything else in DevNet 2 spec apart from Kai's work and your work?
I don't think so. Like we have covered mostly everything else already.
Got it. And have you seen the DevNet 3 PRs? Okay, first let's go for further updates and then we can come into it. So let's go to Chaitanya.
Hello everyone. I had a light week due to some medical restrictions, but on the last weekend I helped Katya set up the Grafana visualization locally and added rate limits on the API server as Mercy suggested. Uh, there was an also a point to implement node a thread pool based structure, a connection pool based structure for our API endpoint. uh, from my thinking, it is kind of an overkill, especially for metric server. So I have added general hard limits. That is also already in the PR. Apart from it, I just got back to work. I just reviewed a few things. I'm starting to get to work slowly, and I saw Game has already merged the hasher agnostic SSE PR, so we can merge the Zeam PR that introduces the new signature. So there are some merge conflicts. I'll update them, and but those are just signature calls. So we need to pass the SHA-256 hasher for the standard hashing right now. And later there is also another PR that introduces the Poseidon hasher as well. So we just need to change the calls, and we have the Poseidon hashing ready as well. So there is that. And yeah, these are my updates for now. I've already addressed Kate's comments on the Grafana PR. Those are mostly on the dashboard side of things, not on Zeam itself. One thing that Kate has mentioned, and I'd like to discuss it on the call itself, is that if we could show the nodes and the attestation, which nodes have attested to what slot within the dashboard itself. That is not something I think we can do right now, since we only work with peer IDs, and we cannot map peer IDs to what the client identity is, whether it was Zeem, Ream, or whatever. So if we need to add that functionality, I think that would require a change on the networking side itself, and the nodes will need to publish their identity. So unless we do that, I do not see a way we could visualize this, or at least our node can show that data in any way.
Uh, s- so I'll come to this particular thing in the end, but first of all, kudos on getting your hasher agnostic PR work merged on SSZ. Yeah, so I think DM was waiting for your feedback, but maybe he just he was waiting for your rework on his feedback, and maybe he just did some changes by himself and merged it. But anyway, good work. Part two, merging that in Zeem. So basically, instead of every SSD call that you update with the hasher as an input, you should basically wrap. You should create some wrapper functions around it, and then sort of replace it everywhere, so that uh, we only need to choose, or we only need to specify the hasher at only one point. So basically, for Zeem, most of the most of the API wouldn't change, apart from the fact that okay, instead from SSZ, it is using some Zeem package to import those APIs. Uh, so I haven't seen your PR on it, but it is, I think there is a PR up on that, so I will review that. And for the API server, we should not be calling metric server now, because there are so many things that that server is serving. Uh, and it would be serving because it is serving uh, SSE events, it is serving APIs for state, and then also definitely for metrics as well. Uh, and have you, so I think Partha did some changes in his PR for that, that is merged. And if you would have rebased it, you would have already seen it, right?
Yes, yes, you also mentioned that in Partha's PR. I did have a brief look. There are some conflicts due to that as well. I'll address them later today itself.
Got it. So Partha, you also, please review that PR, since you also have the context for
Sure.
it.
Sure.
And I hope you are well now. Very good.
Yes, so yeah, I'm mostly well. The vision is just coming and going for now, but I'm off the meds and it should be back by in a few days to full.
Glad to hear that. So welcome back.
Thank you.
We can now move to Partha.
Thanks. So last week, reviewed a couple of PRs on Lean Quick Start from Katya and Mercy, and I worked on the serving checkpoint API, and also renamed the metrics to API port going forward. That's been merged to Zeam, but I have an outstanding PR on Lean Quick Start for that change. One of the plans I have this week is that because it's a breaking change, I intend to create a release branch on Lean Quick Start for DevNet 1 in case Katya might need to rerun or restart DevNet 1 for now until DevNet 2 comes in, because DevNet 2 branch, or rather the main branch on Lean Quick Start, will no longer be functional for Zeam because we have renamed a few API parameters. So that's something I'd be submitting later today. There's one outstanding PR which if you can review, Gajendra. That's it. Yeah, sorry, Mercy, go on.
Sorry, I just wanted to say, I have a PR I'm working on some Git workflows. So before we do the release, I want to like so that we kind of like merge it so that we have like a workflow for Olympic start. I will push the PR after this call.
Okay. That's fine.
But it won't have any lean quick start changes, right, Mercy?
No, it's just for us to have because we have a lot of SH scripts going on, and like there's some linked issues and some other things I had to add to the workflow so that we will have some tests, not to break the most SH scripts we have already. Because when I was implementing it, I noticed some changes that will need to be done. So I want to like have it before we have like a release branch. I don't know if that makes sense.
And make sure that this lean quick start based integration testing workflow is optional, because lean quick start might, for example, stay out of sync from our Zeam code for whatever breaking changes that might come in, right, in future as well. So while this workflow is good to have and this CI is good to have, but it should be an optional CI so that we know that it's breaking and we know to fix it. But apart from that, it should not be a mandatory for checks to pass and for PRs to merge. So just keep that in mind. But before we come to Mercy, Partha, yeah, your updates.
Yeah. So I picked up the work on the checkpoints, building something similar on Zig backend for Lean Ethereum. A couple of questions I had there is that, as far as I understand, checkpoints as a tool is just to report the current status of the chain. It doesn't maintain a state from itself, but it reads the state from other connected nodes. So if Gajendra, you can elaborate more on high level requirements, I can then build a skeleton program and then we can continuously iterate over that. So if you can, yeah, high level, what is the ultimate goal of this new tool? Do we use it, I mean, similar to Lean Quick Start, host it somewhere so that everyone knows what's the current state of network?
Yeah, so basically this tool is to serve the finality checkpoints from across all the peers, right? So what it should do is basically it should subscribe to different peers that you specify, right? Again, we will pick that from the lean quick starts validator config. You can pick it from there. So what it needs to do is, I'm not sure whether the clients also have SSE SSC endpoints implemented, but again, we should also propose that in the spec. So the idea is that you subscribe to SSC endpoints here for finality across the peers, and when you get a finality event, then basically you pull the latest finalized state and store it, and basically serve it. So the idea is to always, so basically you will also retain a slot to the state mapping, and you don't basically need to really store so many of the slots. Everything can be in memory. You can say that, okay, I will store last 10 slots if anyone wants to ask me a state linked to a slot or a route. But what the primary purpose of this is to serve the latest finalized that it has seen across all these peers, right? And I don't think we even need a UI for that. So it could be a very pretty, quite simple service that that basically serves the checkpoints, right? So right now it will serve the checkpoint on the same URLs that we have provided to serve the finalized state on. So it will host that. We don't even need checkpoint sync dashboard and all that to see what's going on. You can have, like how MEV Boost has just a log based approach, we can just have that and
Okay.
implement it so that it really simplifies things for us, and all it basically needs to do is listen for the events across all the nodes that it is subscribing to, and basically on the finality, whenever you get a finality, you pull the finalized state from that particular route and check whether, so basically store it against slot and against root in your local memory, and if it is the most advanced finalized state, then you update your most advanced finalized pointer, which you anyway serve to the clients, right?
Okay.
So I think this scope is not too big and it's decent enough as well to fulfill all our requirements. And if there is a need for us to put a UI, we can add it to it at a later point. But first,
Yeah.
let's get it working. And UI, we can just copy from
Yeah. I
from
mean,
check.
as you said, you could probably even reuse the existing checkpoints UI to work with this because it's pretty simple there. But if I understand the flow, first poll for SSE events for finality. When there is one, then we query the state endpoint across all the nodes specified in the validator config and report cache the latest justified and finalized slot. So essentially, one endpoint. Yeah.
So it should be that for the first time that you connect, you will anyway pull the latest finalized from the peer, and
Right.
then you will start listening to that peer, right? So this
Yeah.
way you always, and if for example there is a disconnect, and if you reconnect, then you will do the same thing, because you would want to always be in touch with okay, whatever latest finalized this peer has.
Okay.
Yes, Kapil.
Hello. So, do we currently have a API for state or not?
There is one for finalized state, which was released last week,
Hmm.
but nothing
Yes,
for
but
justified yet, which can be included.
yeah, what I've seen from consensus clients, I think they have these state API in just kind of different params, like latest justified, latest finalized.
Yeah.
So it's in one API. It will be the same, right?
Yeah,
So we
the API
don't.
would be same. So the route would be that you can either specify slot, or you can specify a route, or you can specify finalized and justified key points. And the same API should just be able to work and give you that.
And we won't have a separate API for checkpoint, right? So we will use state API for that.
So there is no checkpoint as such. The concept of checkpoint is only with regard to finalized and justified, right? There is no other checkpoint because we don't have epochs, so we don't have epoch boundaries. So as such, there is no concept of epoch checkpoint, which is what checkpoint Z does. But we can probably add these extra APIs. I think, Pata, it would be fine to add these APIs that says that, okay,
I don't know,
uh,
maybe it just doesn't make sense if we have already state and finalized. Maybe it doesn't make sense to increase the number of APIs if it works.
no, I think it is sort of a useful API in the sense that when you are downloading a finalized state, you would want to know what was the route for it, or I mean, slot is anyway there in that. Or you might want to poll among all these peers that, okay, what their finalized or justified are. So I think, yeah, with that regard, this could be an API that all clients could support to figure out whatever their finalized. So you can have
Okay.
finalized checkpoint, and so finalized checkpoint will also give you the justified that they have. So I think maybe, Kata, if you want to add this in the spec, yeah, you're more than welcome to do that. And we can ask all the clients to implement it. So Zeam will anyway implement it. So Partha, you and Katya sort of
Yeah.
collaborate on this and figure this out.
Okay.
Will do.
Okay.
Question though, this we are expecting this new backend tool to be hosted on one of the DevNet servers that we have, and we can play around with it, configure to listen to any node that we want, right? Is that the ultimate?
Yeah, so it needs to be integrated with Lean Quick Start as well as the Ansible part of it, both local
Okay.
and Ansible. And yes, when you are doing it on Ansible, basically, I think through validator config itself, we can figure out, okay, what is the IP to put this tool on, right? Like how we do for the nodes. So that configuration can come from there itself. It could be a separate machine, or it could be the same machine allotted to some of the other nodes. So if it has its own config, you have this flexibility that comes with it.
All right, will do.
I think it
And
makes
one,
sense. Oh, sorry.
no, go on, Katya.
Yeah, I think it makes sense to do it on the Zeam server, for example, because anyway we have one DevNet at a time. So yeah, whatever DevNet is running, we can do it. If it's
Sure, will
stalled
do.
or anything, so yeah.
I mean, let's take this offline. We'll discuss and plan which machines we want to deploy these tool to, and take it from there. One final question from me was, I mean, for DevNet 2, Lean Quick Start might require some changes. First, obviously, is the Zeam configuration parameters, but is there anything else that, especially with respect to aggregation, that we might have to change on Lean Quick Start? If so, I'll have to work on that.
So I don't think there is any change in validator config or anything else in Lean Quick Start apart from our breaking changes, which has nothing to do with DevNet 2. But yes, also with regard to DevNet 1 or DevNet 2 runs, I don't think we should worry about DevNet 1 runs. And as of now, we should just merge in the PR, and because I think Katya will now start looking at DevNet 2 onwards.
Okay. Sounds good. That's all. That's my update.
Okay, all right. So we can then move to Katya.
Yeah, so from my side, the clean data PR is ready for review. Should I tag someone, for example, Gajinder, you or Partha, when it's ready for review? So you should know, like, yeah, this one is ready.
I get
Yeah.
notifications. Sorry.
Okay.
I tagging for me really helps because I get a lot of notifications and I
Yeah.
sort of am ignoring them most of the times unless somebody pings to me.
Okay.
Also, sorry, Katya, I believe Gajendra, Katya is not part of BlockPass organization, so we are not able to tag her on specific PIs. If you can invite her, please.
Yeah, Nupur, can you do that?
Yes, I will do
Thank you. So I opened an DevNet 2 readiness status issue. So I'm trying to follow all the clients and update it. I also opened a draft PR for the config file. So this is kind of breaking change. So it's just a draft. So for you to look into it, it will help to easy configure client's images. So whenever a client has an updated image, you can just put it into the config. So it's the similar structure as Kurtosis has, but for this, you don't need to make changes in the Lean Quick Start. So it will be easy. We can start from Docker images, and if it goes well, if it satisfies like us and other clients, we can maybe proceed further with, I don't know, other parameters we need to change on the go, like, I don't know, any flags or etc. ports. So I think the compatibility with Kurtosis might be helpful for further integrations with other clients, at least from the UI. Like, I don't know, what do you think? What's your opinion on this?
So, I mean, obviously there would have been some good practices and courses, and if we can follow them, why not? Right? We should try to leverage all the learnings that are out there, and makes things easy for us. So with that regard, yeah, I mean, I'm fine. Compatibility, I'm not sure because I'm not sure whether, we are talking about, you know, cross communication with kurtosis. I don't know. I'm not sure about that. What do you mean by
No,
that?
no, I mean just on the link quick start site, but just a UI for like we have a config file and we can set up some parameters there. So not to change link quick start itself. So lost the thought. Second, yeah, I have an idea. Probably we could set up it as an interop. So for example, we can run both binary for the local client and Docker images for like guest clients. So for example, if you want to check your, I don't know, branch, etc., so you can easily quickly set up interop. So for example, is it possible? I think technically it's possible, right? So you just build your binary and you have Docker images from other clients. So should just configure
Yeah,
the
so we already do that. I mean, if in every, for example, there is Zeam cmd.sh, and there are similarly other client CMDs. So there is a mode that is available that you want to run the Docker, or you want to run binary. And if you want to run binary, basically binary command is also is also provided over there. So I generally use this quite a lot when I want to test whatever is going on in Zeam with other clients, and even for Zeam to Zeam interop. I just basically, if I so for example, if you look at the Zeam repo branch of the Lean Quick Start, so basically there is Zeam 0 and Zeam 1 that is set up, and they both run in the binary mode, and they basically pick the binary from the parent repo because Lean Quick Start is added as a submodule in the Zeam repo. So that way, basically, it's already happening, and I think other clients are also using it for their debugging when they put
So
other client images on Docker and run their own code in binary.
yeah, so for example, I can later add it to the config file, and you can just configure it. For example, Zeam is binary, and others are Docker images, and like specific images to put their specific images, so you can quickly spin it up.
Yeah, so I think it would be nice if we can move it to validator config, where itself you can say that whether this particular node, for example, even if there are two instances of Zeam, and one you want to run on Docker and one you want to run on binary, then it would be possible through that. So I think if on the node level we can say that, okay, but this instance is running, is it running Docker on binary? I think that would be good, and we can probably move from the CMD to that particular point. And if we want to specify images, I think we can specify separately, as well as the binary builds.
Yeah, and maybe
Yeah.
later integrate like an easy spin up of Grafana, so clients can see the dashboard locally and easily like use it for.
Yeah, so that should already be, that should already be integrated, right? So when you are doing the local DevNet, then basically, Grafana could just be spinned up right there as well. So I think we can just integrate it, and maybe, add a command line argument to the spin up script that spin up Grafana independently, or when we say all, then again spin up Grafana as well, right? Or you can basically specify it through the validator config file itself.
Yeah, that's my idea, just to put it into, because we just grow the number of flags, so it makes more complicated to run and to know all the flags. And so
You might need to still need a flag, because the point is that when you are running a local DevNet, whether I do want Grafana to be run or not. For example, sometimes I don't run all the nodes, right? I know that I run a specific node on one terminal, and then I run a second terminal to run a second instance, right? And basically, if I, for example, want to switch off one node and restart it again and do these kind of debuggings, right? So, or maybe we have a separate command to just up the Grafana itself, right? So you can. So I think we will need a flag, because I wouldn't want to, because if I am running multiple instances on different terminals, I don't want Grafana thing to come between them, right?
Yeah, it can be implemented with the config file, for example, because, for example, for default, it can be false, like user metrics false. And if you want to spin up, you just put like enable into the config file. And yeah, as an idea. Well, yeah.
Got it. Yeah, no, it makes sense. All right. So, yeah, if basically, we are running the command with all, and then it basically can look into the config file to see whether it also needs to up the Grafana or not. And if it's not running with all, then it's just manipulating individual nodes. And then if there is a Grafana tag that is being used, so then it will just act on the Grafana instance. I think this particular thing will work.
Yes, and another idea I want to work on is some short commands, like, for example, lean start, and everything spin ups like by default or from the config file. So just make it easier and shorter, and yeah, some defaults.
Yeah, I think we already have defaults, right?
We have, but the command itself is like long with many flags, and just to make it easy how to start. I can open a draft PR and we'll check if it
Yeah,
makes
just
sense
make
or not.
suggestions and we'll see if it makes sense.
So I would also like to know your opinion about Docker attributes. So Artyom, I opened an issue, so just to standardize a little bit commits and branches in the metadata, in the Docker metadata. And Artyom suggested to use Open Docker standards. If you check maybe later and comment, so I think it's a good idea. So, but I never used it. Maybe you have this experience. I will share in the chat.
Do you have a PR that you want me to
Yeah,
look into?
that's an issue in the chat that I shared. So I suggested through just the labels, and I didn't know about the standard. So if it exists, we can maybe use it.
Yeah, so this is for Docker builds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think if you want to raise a PR for our build, I think that is fine. So you also want to suggest it for others, that is also good. And
Yeah,
so
I
this is the
shared it in
information.
class.
So if this is the information that you need in your in the Grafana, and basically, this is the information that is useful across the dashboards, I think yes. So whatever you think will add value to the dashboards and is useful for you to debug, that is something that definitely you can ask us as well as other clients to implement. Yeah.
Yes, my plan is to put it on the dashboard so we can easily see all what's current containers running, and yeah. So regarding DevNet 1 retrospective, I had some suggestions on how to update it, like to add PQ signatures as well. So and I can also add latest syncing updates into this. So whenever we wrap up the DevNet, it's almost done. We are wrapping up DevNet 1. So I will update this doc and add it to the Lean Quick Start repo.
So one thing I want to say about that is that, okay, you have the doc, but most of the people over here, they might not find time to just look into it. So it's a good idea in the next Wednesday call, you can sort of present it.
Yeah, I can
or
open draft PR.
you can, if that call is already filled, I mean, because there are so many other issues that needs to be discussed over there, you can host a separate call for it.
Mm-hmm. No, I think I don't need it. I don't know. Just share the link. Okay, we'll see. And if anyone wants to change it, it can just comment and add the commit, or it will be all in the repo.
Understood.
Let me check if. Yeah, I think that's it from me. Thank you.
Thanks, Katya, and yeah, good work on running DevNet 1.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, let's move to Mercy.
Good afternoon. So, last week I worked on the networking metrics, and I currently have a PR open for adding extra node to our multi-node integration test to verify parent block syncing functionality. So basically the test simulates a scenario where a node joins the network, and after the chain has already progressed and finalized, then syncs from its peers, which is ready for review. That's it from my end.
Got it. I will look into it. And what are you currently working on, Mercy?
That's just it. The other issue you assigned to me, I think Ansel took over it, and then it's been merged also.
Sorry, what about the other issue?
So that's the only issue I'm working on currently.
Got it. Nugur, can you assign Mercy some issues?
Sure. I'm still catching up on where we are, and once I'm done, like I'll assign something.
So Mercy, if you are in need of issues, then basically just contact Nupur to see what you can work on next, or propose
Okay,
what you
thank
can
you.
work on next.
Okay,
All
thank
right.
you.
Cool. We have covered. Yes, Nupur.
So I was like off most of the last week, so I don't have any update other than like one release that I created, and I have to still create the document for the release process. And while I was doing that, I noticed a minor change that I should make to the CI, and I'm in the process of making that. So once I'm done with that, I will create the release document. So that's it. I'm still mostly catching up on all the pending work.
And also, can you create the release process for SSZ as well as any other repos that we have? I think Snappy
There
Frame.
is okay.
And because right now I think we have sort of pinned them on the commit hash, which we don't want to do.
Okay.
So just look at Zeam build.zig thing and then figure out, okay, whatever is on commit hash, that is the repo, at least where we need the release process. SSZ library might already have it, SSZ.zig, but just double check it, at least with game as well.
Okay.
All right. My update, I have been working on reviewing the PRs and basically testing them out, as well as looking into the spec and the future of Lean Ethereum. There are various proposals that are floating around and basically just looking into them. Okay, and now we can move to Ladislas. Good to see you here after some time.
Yeah, hi Gadget, hi folks. First of all, like massive congratulations on the progress you guys have made in the meantime. Really cool to see a bunch of constant new contributors here on this call as well, and obviously it's well received that I guess the very early Lean client teams who have contributed from the very early days are still the ones sort of steering the ship forward in early 2026, as we can see on our Wednesday interrupt calls. I guess from very briefly, I guess from project organization standpoint, EF internally, we have over the course of these weeks, I guess we have started again, sort of plotting out the year 2026 and sort of how and where Lean Consensus fits into the bigger roadmap. Earlier this month, last week, several EF researchers met in Berlin and sort of think about again, I guess a broader Ethereum roadmap. So likely there will be a consensus related I guess outcomes here as well. Justin was there, and obviously he is. It's good to have him in present to sort of advocate for post-quantum snarkification of consensus. Maybe like I don't have or can comment a lot on the outcomes just yet, but likely I guess everything related to finality and sort of the latest discussions or also research results will affect us as a project here the most. So maybe just as a teaser, I know that the consensus team within the EF have over the past 3-4 months been looking into potential new or successors to 3SF, and then potentially this would mean a finality gadgets which they call quote unquote decoupled. So you have a like a fast dynamically available chain, and then sort of a sort of lagging slow finality gadget on top of it, which is a bit different, I guess, from what Lean clients have implemented so far. So yeah, I guess our task these days is to make your work going forward as structured as possible, and sort of giving you as much of these indications as early as possible. And yeah, probably also scoping what Lean CL means for 2026. And another topic, obviously, is also as we've seen recently, we have not just Zeam, and Clean sort of as the go-to guys from the early days, but also very recently, it's 4 or 5 new teams, some which just sort of 1 engineer, maybe some with 2, sort of showing real interest in shipping or in catching up and participating in this DevNet. And then also obviously we have to figure out like what does it mean to have, let's say, in a DevNet 6 suddenly like 9 teams interoperating on Lean Consensus, which would be great, but also obviously has other second order effects. So yeah, I guess TLDR is it's still like fantastic to see on the core pillars of what is Lean Consensus is, the progress we make there, and then I guess now it's about what's next after it, after these big items sort of get in better shape. And so yeah, that's sort of where we're currently from a project management standpoint, our minds are at. Oh, and of course, before I forget, I again shared the link for the Lean Consensus event, which last year was Beam Day in Cannes. I think we have 40 registrations so far with 80 people capacity in Cannes. Many of you have already registered, which is great to see. We're trying to currently define the agenda. And yeah, would also be good to have suggestions from you. Like, should it be more talk and presentation based, or would you also prefer, I don't know, have some thought of I guess yeah, more interop or like hacker mode based sessions, workshop sessions in the afternoon. So yeah, feel free to reach out with suggestions how we can structure this day, because many Lean consensus client teams will at least have, I guess, one representative coming. So this is a great opportunity for all of us to steer the quarters following after that.
Thanks, Ladislas. Yeah, it sounds very exciting. And yeah, so anyone who wants to attend this, please do that, because I think so there will be definitely talks and panels that would be very interesting, and new research will be presented, and there would be, I'm guessing, some sort of workshop as well. So definitely, please look into it if you are able to attend. And yeah, thanks, Ladislas, for your kind words. And yes, we have been, that is our aim, to basically lead the implementation and spec development on Lean, and to basically, create a very vibrant ecosystem. And for that also, I will claim the credit that, okay, so many teams are coming up and now engaging. So I guess we did a good job. So yeah, I think as you mentioned, so there are three. So from what I understand, from what the uh, uh, development plans that I have seen, and I understand, as you have also mentioned, even though none of these are finalized, I think so. There are three pillars for Lean. One is PQ signatures, and the second is fast finality, that like you mentioned. And I think this is going to be our focus of figuring out, as well as implementation after after PQ DevNets have sort of, we have achieved aggregation and all that. And I think the third thing that Lean VM also is looking to contribute is the CL proofs, which some of the work that we have done in as a Zeam client itself in the phase one of it in the last year. But I think as cross client, we basically need to come together and work on that as well. And this is something I think we should be contributing. So this is my understanding. So these are the three major pillars that are definitely Lean Ethereum is going to contribute back to the mainstream Ethereum consensus. And then if there is something we can do on rainbow staking, I know that it's not a priority as of now, but I think once we have this set up, then probably at some point all the clients would be able to demonstrate that. And because once you have the CL proofs, then it becomes possible. It's sort of a next stepping stone for rainbow staking. And this is something I think Ethereum will go to in long run. But yes, it sort of also depends upon what are the plans are there, and how they are being considered, and how they're being planned. So yeah, I think there are exciting days ahead for Lean Ethereum, and 2026 is going to be super exciting. We need to come to a conclusive value addition back to Ethereum, at least on these three things. And then I think anything on top would be bonus.
Yeah, definitely agree with you.
All right, cool. So I think with that we are also on the end of our call. And is there anything else anyone wants to add and contribute or talk about? Yes, Katya.
Sorry, just forgot to ask if anyone works on these metrics PRs, so which are for DevNet 2. I will share them in the Zeam chat as well. If not, maybe someone can pick up it. Thank you.
Yep. Mercy?
Yeah, I wanted to know if there is like a more further talk on the rainbow staking.
You should attend the Beam day on. So I think there would be some talks. I'm hoping.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
But if there is any, talks or any links that I'll come up, I'll share in the channel so that, you all can look into. Chaitanya?
Yeah, so I remember you said you will discuss about the pair ID mapping and how we can visualize it, but since we are over time, it's fine if you want to take it down async or in the chat.
Yeah, I guess we can talk about it async and or we can just have a call on it later on.
So
Cool. All
I
right.
suppose it's not high priority anyway for now.
No, it is high priority. The visualization is high priority, yes.
Okay, the mapping, I meant specifically the mapping part of it.
The peer ID, yes, peer ID to client mapping, that is not really high priority because we are constrained about whether other clients are signing those things, but maybe we can propose a spec change on that, right? So
Sure.
yes, we can do that because I think it's useful that way.
Right. Thank you.
All right, guys, thanks for being here, and we will see you on 23 Jan, and before that, we'll see you on the Wednesday call. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Angela. Thanks, folks.